Hey man, let's get one thing straight right now, because this is where most men stumble. They miss the signs, not because they're blind, but because they're looking for something loud, obvious, and in your face. They've been conditioned by movies and mainstream narratives to expect women to confess, to chase, to declare their feelings outright with the subtlety of a fireworks display. They're waiting for a clear, unambiguous green light before they make a move. But that's not how most women, especially not the ones truly worth pursuing. A parade, a woman of depth, of substance, won't shout her interest from the rooftops. To do so would feel aggressive, masculine, and emotionally reckless to her. Instead, she'll show you with her energy, with her presence, and with 1,000 small, almost imperceptible things that don't scream, "I want you," but whisper it through subtleties you were never taught to recognize. If you're still out here waiting for some grand, overt gesture, you will miss the quiet ones, the good ones, the ones who are already waiting for you but doing it silently, watching, testing, and hoping you'll finally possess the perception to notice. So, let's break this down. Let's expose the quiet truths that hide in plain sight, because if you learn to pay close attention, her energy always tells you when she's waiting. And brother, once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it again. She doesn't chase you, but she lingers. This is the first and most fundamental rule of her quiet courtship. In the digital age, this lingering has a specific texture. She won't initiate every conversation, but she will always respond, not immediately, not too eagerly, but consistently. This calibrated consistency is her way of staying in your world without forcing herself into it. Think of it as emotional sonar. She's sending out small low-risk pings to see if you're receptive. She might react to your stories with a thoughtful emoji that matches the tone of your post, leave a brief but insightful comment here and there, or simply be the silent viewer whose name you always see pop up, a quiet testament to her sustained attention. More importantly, she remains available. You may not be the overt center of her attention yet, but she consciously leaves just enough space in her life for you to enter. This isn't a coincidence. It's a deliberate act of emotional architecture. She is creating a gap, a doorway just wide enough for you to step through. If you can't sense that, if you dismiss it as mere polite behavior, you are not tuned into the frequency she is using. Women don't wait with their feet planted on your doorstep. They wait with their attention. Her presence lingers in your digital and physical space because she wants to be noticed without the indignity of begging to be seen. That consistent low-pressure presence isn't nothing, it's everything. It's an open invitation that she hopes you are man enough to accept without needing it spelled out for you. Her lingering is a delicate balance, a dance between showing interest and preserving her dignity. It's a sign of respect for both you and herself. Another subtle but powerful sign is how she remembers. Her memory becomes a curated vault of your existence. She asks you about things most people forget, things you yourself have forgotten you even shared. It's not just your job or your weekend plans, but your mood after a tough day you mentioned in passing, your forgotten dreams you shared once late at night, the name of your childhood pet, or the little anxieties you didn't even remember voicing. She brings them back up, casually, weeks later, like it's no big deal, but it is a monumental deal. A woman's memory is not a passive filing cabinet. It is an active, emotionally curated library. She stores what matters to her. If she is recalling details you dropped in passing, that's not just a sign of a good memory. It's irrefutable evidence of her emotional investment. This is her way of saying, "You matter to me. I listen when you speak. The things you say have weight in my world." She does this without ever needing the vulnerability of speaking the words directly. The reason this is also subtle is strategic. She doesn't want to scare you off or come on too strong, which can feel aggressive and masculine to her. She wants you to step forward because you want to, not because she pushed you into a corner. That is the profound beauty of feminine restraint. She lets you lead, even while she's quietly creating the path and hoping you will walk it. She is handing you the puzzle pieces of her interest, one by one, waiting to see if you have the intelligence and intuition to put them together. Now, look closely at her eyes when you speak. This is a masterclass in nonverbal communication that most men fail. Don't just watch when you're making small talk about the weather, but when you're speaking your truth, when you're vulnerable, when you mention your struggles, your purpose, your deepest pain, or your highest ambition. If she leans in, if her gaze softens and locks onto yours without flinching, if she mirrors the gravity of your tone, that's not just politeness, that is connection. She's not just hearing your words, she's feeling them, she's absorbing your essence. In a world of distraction, where everyone is waiting for their turn to talk, she gives you the rare gift of her undivided presence. Even if she doesn't reply with some profound piece of wisdom, even if she simply nods or holds the silence with you, that silence is sacred. In that moment, she is making space for your soul, creating a non-judgmental container for your vulnerability. A woman doesn't do that for just anyone. That is one of the deepest signs she is already waiting for you, because her emotional walls, the ones she keeps up to protect herself from the world, are coming down in your presence, even if just for a moment. And in her world, that small crack in her armor is a canyon-sized opening. When she gives you that look, the one that says, "I see all of you, and I am not afraid," she is offering you a key to a part of her she rarely reveals. The question is, are you perceptive enough to take it, to hold it, and to use it with care? Her eyes will tell you what her lips cannot. They will show you a reflection of her interest, a quiet admiration that words would only dilute. Beyond the subtle cues of her presence and attention, a woman who is truly waiting for you will begin to unconsciously, and then consciously, align her world with yours. This is not about her losing herself, it's about her preparing a space where two lives can harmoniously merge. You'll notice she starts synchronizing her schedule. She doesn't cancel existing plans to see you that would be too obvious and desperate, but suddenly, she's free when you are. She doesn't beg for your time, but somehow, your paths keep crossing in a way that feels like more than serendipity. Maybe she shows up at the same coffee shop you frequent for your morning routine. Or perhaps she mentions how she's suddenly getting into a hobby, a book series, or a genre of music that you're passionate about. While it might all seem like a string of happy coincidences, if you are grounded in your intuition, you'll feel the pull of intention. She is placing herself in your proximity. This is how a high-value woman waits. Not passively, but strategically. She isn't chasing you, but she is making damn sure you have access to her. A woman who is waiting understands the critical value of timing and opportunity. She won't throw herself at you, but she will position herself close enough so that you can't pretend she's not there. She's building a bridge, brick by brick, hoping you'll have the courage to walk across it and meet her in the middle. One of the most powerful and often overlooked signs is how she respects your absence. A woman who is truly waiting for you will never disrespect your mission. She doesn't punish you with coldness when you get busy with work, family, or your own self-development. She doesn't send passive-aggressive texts or guilt-trip you for having a life outside of her. Instead, she remains graceful. She gives you the space you need to build, to focus, to conquer. And when you return, she welcomes you back with genuine warmth, not a scorecard of your perceived neglects. Why? Because she understands the nature of a man on a mission, and deep down, she is hoping that your mission might one day have room. For her, this demonstrates profound feminine patience and an exceptional level of emotional maturity. Brother, you must believe how exceedingly rare this is in a world that demands instant gratification. If you find a woman who gives you distance without punishing you for it, you are looking at someone who understands the sacred dance of masculine and feminine energy. She is not waiting with anxiety, she is waiting with dignity. She is showing you that she is an asset to your purpose, not a drain on it. This grace in the face of your absence is her loudest unspoken statement. I trust you, I believe in your path, and I am strong enough to hold my own while you walk it. She will also begin to open doors for a deeper connection, but will never force you to walk through them. She mentions something personal, something soft, something vulnerable, a past struggle, a quiet fear, a hidden dream, not as manipulative bait, but as a gentle invitation. And then she waits. She watches to see if you will notice the opening and step into it. This is how emotionally intelligent women signal their interest. They don't pressure, they reveal. They don't interrogate, they invite. If you are too numb, too distracted, or too insecure to recognize that fleeting moment of vulnerability, you will miss the gateway entirely. When a woman offers you a small piece of her inner world and you brush past it to talk about something superficial, she remembers that. She registers it as a lack of depth or interest on your part, and she likely won't offer that piece of herself again. So, if she shares something meaningful, stop, honor it, ask a follow-up question, hold that space with her. That's not just her telling a story. That's her heart knocking on your door, hoping you're home and willing to listen perhaps. Most importantly, she respects and nurtures your masculine energy. She doesn't try to mother you, fix you, or compete with your direction. Instead, she admires it. She might challenge your ideas, but always with softness and respect. She might tease you, but never in a way that diminishes you or makes you feel small. A woman who's waiting knows she cannot force her way into your life. So instead, she positions herself as a source of peace, an asset who uplifts, not disrupts. If you feel that sense of profound calm in her presence, that feeling of ease without boredom, That is the rarest and most potent kind of feminine energy there is. That is the energy of a woman who has already chosen you in her heart. She is just waiting for you to have the clarity and courage to notice. She will defend your name when you're not around. Stop entertaining emotional drama from others and begin to compliment your essence, not just your appearance. You'll hear her say things like, "There's something about your presence that feels so calming," or "I love the way your mind works." These are not generic platitudes. They are emotional keys she is handing to you. She is showing you, in every quiet way she knows how, that she is not just another woman passing through your life. She is the one who is waiting, hoping you are the one worth waiting for.